to Deadlands Dime Novels, The Adventures of Young and Holt, Issue 58, The Showdown, Part 2. I'm your narrator, Ernest Wick, intrepid reporter for the Tombstone Epitaph. In this issue, Young and Holt are in the final showdown with Samuel Reddington and his associates in All Seasons Valley. I'm sure no matter the outcome, it's not going to be pleasant. So, let's just dive right in and see where they're at.
And I have that special thing you got me last time.
Right, the notebook.
The notebook. Add a second spell check to second check to spell casting to add a card, and if I get a critical fail, it loses a card. Okay, so yes, that's what I'm going to do. So my grit is 3, and so I draw 8 cards then.
That sounds right.
Okay. Not the greatest hand, but do have a chance for 3 of a kind if I call the King of Hearts. So I am safe in that aspect. Now I'm going to make a check to spellcasting to try and draw an extra card.
Okay.
Got a 4. One more card. It's an 8 of clubs, which is not really that useful. But, you know... Oh, wait, hold on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do have. Without the King of Hearts.
Oh.
So never mind.
Okay.
I just completely blanked on my counting abilities. That's a straight, which is 6 PP, which is more than enough. So I don't need to do the King of Hearts. So that spends it all on this single bolt. I need to make a spellcasting check for the bolt now. So that's a D6. Come on, roll high. Yeah.
There we go.
Hit with the raise.
Nice. All right.
So, now I am throwing a bolt. This bolt has been pumped for damage, which means it does 4d6, and it has AP 6 on it. AP 4 on it, sorry. I only spent 2 points on that, because it cost 5 total. Yep, so that's... AP 4 with a 4d6 attack.
Okay. Does that 4d6 includes the d6 for the raise?
That is with the d6 for the raise.
And don't forget to add +2 for damage for the Joker. He played his Seize the Day card to act and give him Joker benefits.
I was wondering where the Joker came from. Ooh. Ouch. Ooh.
It's not a great roll, but it's still 13 AP 4.
All right. It is enough to cause it a wound. This the cylinder is essentially like a wild card of its own. So right now you have a wound coming at it. I am going to so it does get some bennies. I'm going to spend a white to attempt to soak. So it soaks the wound. I don't need to reroll. So your bolt slams into it, and it creates this shower of sparks as it hits the metal and whatever the material is that's around there, and there's this shower of sparks that goes off. Reddington kind of backs away slightly from it, and everything kind of clears, and you see Reddington steadying himself, and he puts a hand on it, and he looks up at you, and he says, "That was well played, but not well enough." And you see him slam down on something beneath it that you can't see, but it looks like he cranks a lever. And then the 11 bolts fly out from the cylinder and hit towards each hill. Joshua, at that point in time, you have pulled out the rod and thrown it off to the side, and the bolt actually arcs directly towards that rod and hits, and you can see the rod start to shake, but sparks are shooting out of the other end that you had just removed from the ground. And you can feel the energy vibrations on the hill, but you're not sure exactly what is going on at this moment. Okay, so since you changed your thing, are we assuming that you just cast the bolt and then didn't go into the shadow and with your teleport?
I needed all my focus to cast the bolt. This turn will be me diving for cover, yes.
All right. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely in a combat. So here we go. Porter gets 3. Joshua gets a 5. Reddington gets a 4. Jeez. And everybody else basically gets an ace. So yeah, all of the between the cowboys and the mercenaries get an ace. All right, I'm gonna take care of that here real quick. Gunshots start going off as everything begins to devolve into chaos around you. And Joshua, you are actually up first.
Well, now that there's this weird lightning stuff shooting out towards me, hitting this bar, I'm going to look around, see the source being the machine, and then I'm going to glance to the hill to my right and to my left to see if the other 2 cowpokes were able to get one of those bars removed, as just a quick little look around.
It does not appear that they were able to make it there in time. And now it looks like their attention has been drawn to some of the other mercenaries that are nearby.
Well, time to start going clockwise. So I'm going to move down this mound and start heading up to the next mound to try to get to the bar up on that. And
What are you going to do with the electrified bar?
Yeah, well, I'll figure that problem out when I get there. While I'm moving, since shots are already being fired out, while I'm moving towards the next bar, I'm going to shoot towards the center at targets there to try to put some of those fellers down. So I'm heading clockwise. So if I was at, I'm going to say, 6 o'clock with the 2 guys on it that we took out, I'll be moving to 7. And ultimately I'll be regrouping hopefully with the 5 guys at 9 once I make my way there.
All right, and then you were going to try and take a shot at something?
Yep, as I'm moving from mound 6 to mound 7, I'm going to shoot towards the center since I got a little elevation and might be able to see. I'm going to just kind of wing a shot off.
Towards the depression area where everything's at? Go for it. That's going to be long range, so that'll be -4.
And I won't get marksman because I'm moving and I haven't aimed. I don't like that.
Oh, was that your roll, that 1?
Yeah, I got a 5, but at -4, that's a 1. So I'm going to drop another red chip and add a d6. Totally not worth it. I got a 2, so that makes it a total of a 3.
All right, you get a shot off, and at the very least, you may hit a nearby rock or something else to at least perhaps make them aware of the fact that you're around.
I'm a distraction.
All right, my turn. Okay, Porter, you can tell Reddington, he's standing around the cylinder as the beams continue to emanate, and it looks like he is on whatever side he's on. So it's the cylinder is a little bit between you and him, but it looks like he's devoting his attention to whatever is on this cylinder. He's focused on that primarily, though it looks like he's trying to keep an eye on you as well. You see one of the blue individuals. He definitely makes eye contact with you. He starts walking up towards the depression, and as he's walking, he looks down and he has this device that's essentially attached to his wrist. It looks like a ridiculously large wristwatch. You see him pull out a couple of things and looks like he's pressing a button or two. Then he cranks on the device, and as that happens, you look and you see his legs coming up through the grass, and then suddenly his legs vanish and it goes up his body, and the last thing you see is he's turned his attention back towards you as he completely goes invisible.
Nice.
Lovely.
then it's your turn.
First, I'm going to make a guts roll. That Porter doesn't immediately abandon his plan.
This Porter is a far cry different Porter from when he first started.
Yeah, well, he's got rage fueling him, so that helps a lot. So, now that the blue guy's gotten out of my line of vision, is there a shadow right next to Samuel, perhaps cast by his gigantic machine?
Make me a notice check.
Let's find out. How about a 14?
14 is very good. Yes, you can spot a shadow.
So, Porter, being the dramatic person that he is going to fall back into the shadow that's directly behind him and just sort of come up out of the ground right next to Samuel in order to tackle him. So let's make a spellcasting check. Okay, so I'm going to spend power points for this. Hopefully that'll take me out of the invisible person's sight for a little while here. So what's tackling Samuel away from the console?
Well, that's a good question. You come out of the shadow. You didn't see this because of the angle that you're at. There is somebody standing right next to Samuel, and he looks like he's prepared for something, but you come out at such an angle that you're actually able to get past him because he made an effort to try and tackle you as you were coming at Samuel. You essentially get past him and then into Samuel. So let's find out.
Can I change what
change
I'm doing?
What you're going to do after you come out of the shadow?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
So
you come out of the shadow. What are you going to do?
Can I snatch his ray gun?
Ooh, make me a notice check to see if you can spot it, because this is all happening very quickly.
4.
All right. Yes, you can see it. And so you can certainly make a grab for it. Make me an athletics check.
Can I make a thievery check?
Thievery would absolutely work with this.
Oh, come on. No, that's a Betty. There's
So close with a 3.
Oh, come on! Benny time.
Spending another Benny?
That's right. This is important. I don't really have anything else here.
Okay.
Thank you. 5.
There we go. 5. Okay. So you come out of the shadows.
I remember all the stories that Ike was telling, or that Joshua relayed to me later about the gun that he shoots and things explode when he points it in a direction.
That you witnessed firsthand.
That I did witness firsthand.
Yes, you did.
And I'm like, I need to get that off him immediately. So
nice.
I come out of the shadows. Essentially, I'm too low for the guy who tries to stop me, and then I just swipe aside his coat and grab the gun and right off his belt.
Nice. All right, so you've got it. All right, so new round. Porter gets a 6. Joshua gets a 9. Get a 4.
He's preoccupied.
All right, and then these guys.
Wow, what is it with the Jokers?
Another joker. Which, by the way, that was actually your guys who got the Joker. So you do get a penny each for that.
Oh, nice.
All right, we'll have the extras go first. More gunfire continues to erupt around you. Joshua, you definitely see, looks like there's shots being fired. You have a nice bird's eye view of this. There's shots being fired everywhere. One of the things that you notice, though, is that from over in the area where the team that Zach put together over in the 9 o'clock area, you see a woman, and she is in a yellow dress. Essentially from behind one of the mounds, you see her come flying up above, and she's arcing in a pattern towards the depression, and she's just flying. Looks like she probably has a gun in her hand.
Well, I'll continue to make my run at Mound 7 from 6. And, since she's making herself a nice target in the air, I might as well fire off a round. In fact, I might as well fire off 2 rounds.
She is also at the angle that you're at, because this was at 9 o'clock. She is also going to be in long range, but she is there nonetheless.
All right, here's my first shot, and here's my second shot.
Damn. The first one's a hit. Second one is hit with a raise.
So 20 on the first shot and 12 on the second.
I had thought about spending bennies on her. I'm not going to, because that's a lot of wounds to soak. It's not going to happen.
Please. Then when I fire at the machine, you have less bennies to spend.
All right, so let me give you a full description of what this woman looks like as she's flying. She's gliding through the air, and her yellow dress is flapping behind her in a very dramatic fashion. And in one hand, you can definitely tell that she has a pistol drawn, and in her left hand, it looks like she's wearing some sort of metal articulate glove sort of thing, but it also appears to be powered with something, as sparks are flying off of it, but not in a manner that would tell you that it's malfunctioning. So it's almost like they're crackling and popping around there, and it looks like she's arcing towards the depression to go and assist Reddington. And then you go and you take your shots. And how would you like to take her out?
I'm going to say the first shot hits her pretty much dead center, which throws her off balance, so she doubles over for the pain, which changes her trajectory in an unexpected way. And the second shot hits her in the back, which causes her body to spasm as she basically just drives herself into the ground with the continued flight.
Ooh, that's brutal. All right, very nice. Porter, you are next.
Okay, so is there a console or something here? Now that I'm on the opposite side where he was working with something, what's here?
So we have the cylinder, and it looks like the lower half of the cylinder and the side that Reddington is on contains a number of dials and levers. And now that you're, within 6 feet of this thing, you can see the insides are indeed a swirling mass of black, midnight blue, and white clouds of sorts, and it looks like maybe this is made of glass in between the metal that's here, and it's continuing to swirl in an upward arc fashion, so it looks like it's feeding those nozzles as the beams continue to, in their lightning-like pattern, go towards each of the hills.
All right, in proper movie fashion, I'm going to point the ray gun at that console and dials and just fire.
Do you know how to use this device?
I have no clue, but it's a ray gun, right? So it's got a gun, which means it's got a trigger, which means I can point and pull a trigger.
It does. I am going to give you a -2 penalty because there is a couple of steps, of course, that you have to do to properly fire the item.
Sounds good to me. What am I rolling?
Just point it the right way.
Well, if it's a ray gun, I'm assuming it's one-handed, so behind a heart, it would feel right when you point it in the correct direction. I got that part down.
Yes, it does definitely look enough like a gun that you're pointing it the right way.
What do I need to roll?
Well, it'd be shooting.
Shooting is a D4. We're going to pull this off, whether I like it or not. Guess what? Remember that Benny you just gave me?
Yes, I do.
Guess where it's going?
It's going to go into my pile because it's a red, and you're going to let me draw it.
No, I have got nothing but whites.
It's another white. All right, re-roll them dice. Oh, with a 3.
All right, I want this to happen too. So, hey Porter, here's a blue chip for you.
Oh.
You only need to get a 1.
Total of a 6. So final roll, Porter points the gun, rolls a 6, and fires at that console.
Okay. All right.
From 6 feet away.
Okay.
Right next to Samuel.
Holding a lightning rod. Nice knowing you, Porter.
This is ethereal energy condenser that you are firing.
Nice.
I think this was AoE too, wasn't it?
The ray gun? Yeah.
Actually, it is. It's the burst spell.
Nothing like putting the burst spell right at your feet.
6 feet away. He said that. I heard.
Success creates a cone template starting at the caster and extending outward. You didn't hit with a raise, so it's 2d6. And It is definitely going to affect Reddington as well. You aim the gun, and you look down and you see the shocked look on Reddington's face, and you're about to pull the trigger, and then you see at the last second another like red button that's on the handle that says press here to fire, stage 2. And so you realize, oh, I bet I have to do that. And so you pull the trigger and press the button at the same time. It whirs to life. You feel it charge up in your hands, and then it just shoots out this white blue looking sort of ball, and it lands it has, of course, has streaks as it comes out, but it lands right onto the device, and it shakes it a little bit, and Reddington kind of stumbles back, but the cylinder seems unaffected by it. But Reddington may be affected by it, and since it is now his turn, actually he is shaken, so we'll see if he can get out of this. He is able to unshake, so he can act normally. He yells at you, "What are you doing? You don't know how to use that?"
I told you, I'm stopping this.
He's looking at you, and he's also devoting some of his attention to the cylinder at the same time. And he's able to tweak with the dials that are on there as the beams continue to go. And then he's going to attempt to do something else. As he's busy adjusting the dials and levers that are on the cylinder, he reaches down and he starts messing with this rather ornate looking belt buckle. It doesn't even really look more like a belt as it does like a short sort of girdle type of construction thing that's around him. And he turns a few things and presses a couple buttons, and you see these tendrils kind of go up his torso and down his legs, and he begins to move in a manner which is jerky and much faster than what you were expecting. And that is the end of that round.
Really glad I didn't play my adventure deck card, because it ends when a Joker comes out, and that was like boom boom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Joshua can't soak wounds, is that right?
Correct. Until Samuel is defeated.
All right, it's new round. Porter gets a 2 of spades. Joshua, 10 of dimes.
Is that like the lowest possible?
2 of clubs is the lowest possible. So yeah, you're in the general neighborhood, that's for sure. I get a 8 for Reddington, and then these guys, the Cowboys, get a 9, and the Mercs get an ace. Joshua, you are up first.
So, question for you. Since I spent the last 2 rounds running from Mound 6 to Mound 7, would this round get me to the top of Mound 7?
Absolutely.
All right. So, now that I'm at the top of this mound, hopefully Zach's up here trying to disable this rod like he was told to do.
You come up there, make me a notice check. You reach up the top of the rise, and you can see the bolt is, it's on the, it's arcing energy into the conductor piece that's stuck into the ground. There's a sizzle and a hum in the air as it's doing this. And standing right nearby, you see 2 things. You can see kind of crouched down in the grass, someone is down there. But then standing right nearby is Zach, and he has his gun out and pointed at you. But you notice that there's something wrong with his face. There's in his facial expression, there's something not quite right, but he has his gun pointed at you.
All right. Even, I do what I don't want to do. Odd, I don't. Since this is a split-second decision. Odd, I don't. All right. So, I'm not going to shoot Zach like I initially thought in that choice, despite what he's doing. But I'm going to be yelling at him the whole time he's got the gun pointed at me. Get that rod out of that ground! And I will put one of my pistols away. So I've got pistol in one hand, and I'll have tomahawk in the other one. And I'm going to spin it around backwards since it's got this wooden handle on it. And I'm going to try to use it like a hammer and bash the lightning struck spike to try to like drive it over on its edge.
So make me a athletics roll, or fighting, I guess, since you're attacking this the spike. Either one, whichever one's better.
So there's my fighting roll.
Okay. So you definitely connect with it. Make me a damage roll, and let's see how much damage you caused this.
There we go.
Ooh, 9. All right, that might be enough. Let me just check.
I'm remembering my my little bit of time with the Sioux as I'm running up the hill, knowing that they kind of just strike with fast speed from out of nowhere. So I'm just running up. I see him pointing a gun at me. See the face. Think, oh, I just startled him. Keeping on target as I come in and hit the rod with the side of the back of the hatchet.
All right, and so you sort of slide in the grass and take that momentum, and you hit it, and you hit it enough that you do pop it out of the ground. The energy continues on to the rod as it skitters a little bit away from you, and you can feel a strange heat kind of coming off of this because you're so close to it. It also has brought you a little bit closer to this person who is crouched in the grass or a little bit away from you, and you see that it's a woman because she has the tighter fitting sort of formal looking dress type thing, and it has streaks of blue in it, and she has an angry look on her face, but then it turns into a wry smile as she looks. Her eyes flick towards Zach. And it's my turn.
See, you knew you should have shot first and asked questions later.
See, that's what I was going to do on an even roll, but I'm also going to go ahead and play this card because this is our last stand in the valley.
What does this card do?
Your hero... Oh, there. And any adjacent allies gain +2 parry and toughness. Allies who move into contact after the card is played gain the bonus as well. The effect ends when a joker is dealt.
Ooh. All right.
So that gives me and adjacent allies a +2 parry and toughness.
Okay. Which is good because Zach is going to shoot at you.
Of course he is. He's been waiting to do that since I called him my cowardly yellow belly dog.
He was sliding on the ground. He might make him a little harder to hit.
Yeah, too bad I couldn't use a 2-weapon attack here, but movement and hitting that thing, I was focused on it.
He gets a shot off. It does hit you.
Now, would the target number to hit me be greater than 4 at this point?
No, because you're not prone.
Ah, right. And it's ranged attack. Got it.
Ranged attack. But the toughness is definitely going to benefit you. Ooh.
Or not.
All right. So what is your toughness?
My toughness is a 4. With that +2 makes it a 6.
6. Okay. And we got 14 points of damage. So 6, and then 10, then 14. So you have 2 wounds coming at you.
That I can't do anything about because I can't soak.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Now it's Reddington's turn.
And I would be shaken that I have to break at the start of my next turn.
Correct.
Okay. Sorry, Porter, I might be using the rest of this healing balm on myself.
That's fine.
Samuel continues to work with the dials and levers, and his left hand reaches and he pulls out a gun, and he is going to attempt to just take a straight up shot at you.
What? He has an actual gun on him?
An actual gun. 4 is a hit. So he hits you. 7 points of damage coming at you, but you are also at a +2.
Am I?
Yeah, you're an ally, right?
Well, I thought it had to be in proximity. That's why I was...
Any adjacent allies. Yeah, you definitely would not be adjacent in this case.
Yep, got my paladin aura going, basically.
Yeah.
My toughness is 6.
All right, so right now you're just shaken. The other guy...
The invisible guy, possibly?
No, the guy who's going to attempt to tackle you.
Why are you going to tackle me now?
No, now he's just going to take a swing at you.
Oh. Ow. This isn't going well, Joshua.
I got 2 mounds taken care of. What have you been doing? Goofing off?
I was trying to take care of all the mounds.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to regroup at 9 before I got too beat up.
What's your parry, Porter?
2.
2. All right.
He hit me.
He does come up and he does take a punch at you. He puts himself slightly in between you and Reddington and essentially gives you like a small rabbit punch to the gut, which just kind of makes you stumble back slightly, but it doesn't cause you any ill effects. And it is now your turn.
All right, so I have to recover from shaken.
Yes, and that is a spirit roll. Oh, well, you're still shaken.
Yeah, I rolled double 1s, so I am definitely still shaken.
Yeah, and you effectively are unable to do anything this round.
Okay, so that he knocked the wind down on me pretty good there.
Yeah, he actually did.
I think that's the first time you've been hit, though, isn't it?
It's been a long time since I've been hit, yes. Properly.
Did you just deal me a 2?
I did just deal you a 2 of clubs of all things.
I'm going to say thank you very much.
Sorry.
That'll actually let one of my edges kick in.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, Porter, since you are still shaken, they're going to seize the advantage on you. And actually, what you see happen is Reddington devotes his full attention to the device. Again, adjusting dials and cranking levers and doing his thing. At that point, the other guy, because you stumbled back a little bit when he gut punched you and you just kind of... and he takes that time to pull his gun and point it at you. And he speaks in a French accent. He's like, "Do not move." At that same time, on your end, Josh... Oh, I forgot to draw for these guys here. Hold on.
Oh,
Ooh.
you would.
I did.
He drew a joker for them, which means my +2 goes away.
We'll worry about that in a moment. The woman stands up, who's facing you, Joshua, and she says, "He's going to shoot you again. I would suggest, if you like living, you may want to surrender." That is their actions.
If you want me to make an immediate reaction to that, I will. I'll just look at her and drop the tomahawk and my pistol.
Porter, your turn.
So, Porter, let's see, he is cautious, and he is yellow, and he has got his anger fueling him. So Porter needs to make a guts check here.
Before you make your guts check, you are welcome to make another spirit check to become unshaken.
I would like to do that, yes. Let's do that first.
There we go.
I got
You
my
are
4.
unshaken. And now you go ahead and you can gut yourself up.
Yes. And so he's going to make his guts check at a -1 for cautious, -2 for yellow. I'm going to give him -3. When Claude points the gun at him. I'm assuming it's Claude. I mean, I'm looking him in the face now. It's not?
No, it's not Claude.
Oh.
No, it's not Claude. You mean the huckster that you met?
The one that told me about Samuel's room being in...
yes, Claude
Julia.
Chirac.
Yeah, Claude
Yes.
Chirac.
This
That's
is
not him.
This is not Claude Chirac. This is somebody else.
Man, I would have felt really bad saying, "Sorry, Claude." Okay, so I need to make a guts check to see if Porter doesn't hold still at this point. If it wasn't for the anger for Regina, he would just stop. That puts him at a 2. He is going to just kind of slump, coughing. Can I actually make a thievery check to hide the gun, the ray gun, on myself?
It's big, so I'm going to say you got a -2 to that, but yes, or at least hide it nearby in the grass.
Yeah, where they can't find it. That's what I'm going for. D6, and where I know where it is. No, I failed.
All right.
So it just kind of slips out of my hands.
Yeah.
As all the adrenaline just kind of drains out of me.
So you are going to stand down, essentially?
So Claude points the gun at him.
It's
and
not
Porter's...
Claude.
God damn it.
The Frenchman.
It is the Frenchman points a gun at me, points a gun at Porter, and tells him not to move. And Porter, panting for breath, just kind of he feels the adrenaline and the realization of the situation just kind of flooding out of him, and the gun drops out of his hand. And he just kind of slumps a little bit in place.
All right. Okay. Joshua.
So, after her exclamation about him going to shoot me, I dropped my tomahawk and my pistol. I've got my back to Zach, and she is now stood up. I am not moving, and as I'm slowly raising my hands up from my sides where I dropped the weapons, I'm just going to quick draw and shoot her.
You have been planning this since you created the character, haven't you?
Now, you drew me a 2 for my initiative.
Yes.
I have calculating, which means ignore up to 2 points of penalties on one action with an action card of 5 or less. So the -2 that I have for my wounds, I will ignore.
Yes, you will.
And I haven't moved, so I'm going to get a marksman bonus.
Nice.
The marksman bonus doesn't give me any bonus to hit her, but it would give me a free called shot.
What does it get rid of your offhand penalty?
It just gets rid of up to 4 points of penalties, I believe, which is a called shot to the head.
Called shot to the head is 4 points of penalty, correct.
So this is going to be a quick draw, called shot to the head. It's going to be a straight shoot and roll. I need a 4 to succeed.
Okay. Now, the only thing that you have to do before that is you do have to make an agility check, because she essentially was waiting for you to do something. She does have a gun drawn. So as long as you beat her agility check, you can certainly go.
All right. Would this agility check be at -2 because of the wounds? Yes?
This would affect that, yes. And I got a 3, so 9 will definitely do it. So, all right, you can take your shot. That's a hit.
All right, so called shot to the head is +4 damage?
Correct, +4 to damage. All right, so what are we talking there? Full is 11 is the total?
11 is the total. That's 2d6. I got 3 on both of those, and then I get +4 for the headshot and +1 for the Servant of Death, Grim Servant of Death.
All right. So you quick draw, the gun comes out. She goes to make a move, and then her eyes flick to her gun, flick to you, and she realizes at the last moment that she's not fast enough, and you see her eyes pop open wide as you pull the trigger. The crack of the gun just cuts through the air, and she arcs backwards and plops down dead in the grass behind you. All right. The round ends, and a number of things happen. Porter, you've backed off slightly and have kind of surrendered. Joshua, you gun down this woman. She's dead. You hear behind you a sound. You hear a, oh, what, oh my gosh.
You shot me, you darn fool. I didn't pay you to do that.
What the hell happened? You hear Zach mutter that behind you. Both of you notice this, or the sounds of gunfire from around the other areas of the mound seems to have stopped. The last echoes kind of fade. And then the very last thing that happens is the last of the beams arc out from the cylinder, and in the mounds where the rods were still attached, sinks in. You get this sensation. You almost feel like a low kind of a rumble, but it's very, very faint. Reddington turns towards you and he says, "It's a success. I think it's a success." He leaves the device and he goes running out. He goes running towards one of the mounds. Joshua, what are you going to do?
Huh. So the rods on the other mounds, you're saying, basically just dropped into them?
Well, the beams, they finished their arc, and the beams essentially went into, you realize this whole time now that that the cylinder had been dispersing energy into these rods that were in the mounds.
And the machine has stopped pumping that out at this point.
Correct.
I'm going to tell Zach to head over to Mound 9 and meet up with the rest of the boys and try to get back to the horses, because he's going to be the cavalry riding into this mess. Get those horses back down here. And I'm going to turn my attention towards the center now, since I can't do anything else with the mounds, and just kind of see what's going on. So let me make a check for that. Yep, I'm not seeing much in the middle as my vision kind of goes a little blurry.
Porter, what about you? What are you going to do? You see Reddington run off as he's just basically running towards the nearest mound to go and look for something. You're not sure. The guy who is covering you, he's still covering you, but he also, you can see his eyes are shifting, looking towards Reddington, but then he's also realized that the gunshots have stopped, and so he does a quick look off to the sides, like he's looking for something. But what would you like to do?
Time to use the Suede rules to their fullest. Multi-action casting!
Ooh!
First, Porter is going to cast Deflection on himself. He's like thumbing his cards to raise his luck. So that's 3 power points, which I'm going to spend, because I need that to go off. And I need to make a spell casting roll. There's a 4. It's multicasting.
Sorry, so -2.
I can't do anything about it. All right, that's fine.
All right, so your Mist Me doesn't go off.
Failed that. Instead, since I'm already thumbing at my cards, I'm just going to fling up my hand and use a bolt on the guy right in front of me. Just going to have to eat the shot, it looks like.
Got to do a little dealing.
Mm-hmm. A couple spades. Got a pair of queens here. In fact, I've got a trio of queens. Yep, it looks like a trio of queens. Could have buffed that up a little bit. That's all right. Trio of queens means it's, I believe, 5 or 6 power points. Spellcasting roll now at a -2. I was hoping to hit that raise automatically, but
Ugh.
just can't get above. I can't hit those wilds or the things anymore.
What? This was double cast? Which one was this? Deflection?
No, deflection was the first one. This was the actual bolt to take out the guy in front of me. So that's gonna fizzle.
Why don't you add a d6 to that?
You sure?
All right, looks like you. See, I told you he'd want to spend a penny on you.
But the marshal, he gets to draw a chip.
I do. Marshall's got quite a collection of chips there. I'm liking the way this
He
looks. Now,
does.
technically, 2 of those belong to the device, but
So another 6. So this is a pure 6 on the spellcasting, so that's a hit.
ooh, jeez.
There we go. Let's get some damage in there.
14 points
14.
of damage. All right. Kind of out of initiative, I am going to give him the benefit of a chance to shake, so I'll spend a penny.
Well, that's not good. You're not supposed to be able to soak it. Oh, come on.
I'm soaking everything else tonight.
So you cast your bolt, and you do it just at the moment that he was glancing around like he was looking for something else. He almost, it's like one of those things where you can feel something happen just before it happens, and so he's able to react just fast enough to get out of the direction of the bolt, but it does cause him to essentially take a dive into the grass. All right, so Joshua, what are you gonna try and do this next round?
Well, I am going to reclaim my weapons. I sent Zach off to get the horses. And I think this is where, as I play the reunion card, the 5 or however many left of the cowboys that went to mound number 9 have made their way this way.
All right.
So that we've got a little bit of a regroup going on.
Okay. All right, and so Porter, let's. Were you planning on now continuing to go after this dude, or are you going to turn your attention to Reddington?
Reddington ran out to a mound, right?
He is running towards a mound.
Reddington
yes.
ran out to a mound. What I want to do... I've got some crazy ideas here.
Best kind.
Now that he's dove off to the side, I do need to take care of him. I can't do what I want to do if he's there bothering me. So I will be engaging with him.
Initiative up.
Yes, we'll definitely do initiative. But what's going to end up happening is as your guys are kind of beginning to rally around the Frenchman who is just on you, as you take off, Porter, running,
Wait, hold on. I'm attacking the Frenchman.
You are going to attack the Frenchman? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought you were going after...
No.
All right.
No. I'm going after the Frenchman.
Okay. I'm going to take that.
Because I want to stay... I want to stay at the machine.
Got it.
Is where I want to be.
Got it. All right. So let's give you a card. And Joshua, I don't think you need a card because you're just basically trying to get everybody rallied up, right?
Right.
Okay. Ooh, and you got him, Porter. You got the edge on him. You see him begin to kind of scramble in the grass like he's trying to regain his feet, but you definitely have the drop on him.
Okay. Remember what I did the last time I had a drop on someone?
Yeah, I believe you shot him in the back with a shotgun.
So I'm drawing my shotgun.
Are you sure? Because the ray gun's nearby.
It is, but I know how to use a shotgun, and it's been worked very well for me. And I get a bonus to a hit on a shotgun.
Very true.
All right, yep. So Porter just reaches down to his hip, swings it up in its little sling, and fires. What, a 6?
That'll hit him.
There's another 8.
8 points of damage. All right. You make some sort of sound or something, and he turns and looks back at you, and you bring the shotgun up, and he goes, No, wait! And you let both things off, and he jumps.
Oh, wait, that was only one barrel. That was only one shot.
Oh, well, then why am I describing this? Then do your... Okay, so 8 points of damage. All right, he's shaken. If you shake him one more time, he is probably going to be dead.
Porter's too angry to listen. That's the issue here. 4.
That'll hit.
For another 10.
For another 10. All right.
So that was both barrels. Then.
Okay. How would you like to take Flavio out?
He says, no, wait, which is going to haunt Porter later, but right now he's not listening, so it's just 2 shots right into his chest.
And he's wearing, or was wearing, fine clothes. They even had almost like a metallic blue kind of look to them. You kind of admired his suit, but now it is a mess of torn threads and lots of blood and buckshot. All right, new round. Oof, a lot of low cards. All right, but Porter, you are first, so what would you like to do?
So Porter, knowing his experiment has probably succeeded, Samuel's, the only thing he can think to do is figure out how to reverse it. So he does the only thing he knows how to do when he's blank out of ideas. He uses hunch on the console of the machine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm going to make a spellcasting roll for that. How about a 13?
Nice.
13's pretty good. All right. So you come up to the console and you put your hand on...
I lay out, I like spread the whole deck out on the console and put my hands down on the 2 ends of it and focus.
Whenever you go and have had your various contests with your with the Manitou, and you've dealt with the devil and all of that, there, despite the fact that there's sinister overtones and all of this stuff, there always seemed to be some semblance of normalcy to what you did, despite the supernatural elements of it all. You place your hands on this canister and on the console and the panel as the hunch begins to take effect, and you are greeted with nothing but a logical and just bizarre things. Everything that's coming at you in regards to your attempt to try and understand this just doesn't make any sense. You're grasping in this sea of images to try and figure out exactly what it is you need to do. Even though you feel like you may have found what could possibly work, you're still not sure. You still have doubt as you're about to make your attempt to try and go through with this. But you spend your entire round as all of these images assault you, and you try and make some sort of sense of it. Joshua, since you're kind of reuniting with Zach and the troops, what's left of them, they'll go on your action, which it is now your action.
All right, we need to move. We need to get to the center, boys. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but we need to make sure we end this. So let's get down there and give the boss some cover. And with that, we'll start moving to the center. And I'm going to reach into one of my pockets and pull out that last healing balm and start rubbing that over where Zach so kindly shot me in the back.
Yeah, here we go. If applied within the golden hour, it will automatically heal 1 wound on a successful healing test. It will heal 2, and with a raise, it heals 3. So I guess, yeah, your healing skill that you don't have would come into effect because it all depends on how you apply it. So you're going to heal 1 wound regardless, but go ahead and make that healing test, and we'll see if you can get 2 out of this.
And it's D4 minus 2 for untrained, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am wounded, but I do have calculating, and you dealt me a 2, so I'm going to ignore the 2 wounds.
Okay. And I think that your wounds don't affect you when you do healing things on yourself. I think has been a change.
In that case, can I ignore the 2 for untrained?
Yeah, I guess. I can accept that argument.
Oh,
Ooh.
God, this needs to happen. I'm going to add a D6 to that.
All right. Wow, you got another red chip, huh?
No, I have a blue one.
Ooh, nice. Oh, so I don't get to draw. What am I doing? All right.
Oh, ooh, Chris, you're wrong.
What am I wrong?
A wounded character trying to heal his own or another's injuries suffers from both effects: his wounds plus the wound penalty of to the healing roll.
I thought they had changed that.
This is from the Suede book.
So this would still be at a minus 2, not minus 4. So a 7 minus 2 is still a 5.
Which is a success. So then that would be 2 wounds.
Awesome. Back to no penalty.
All right. So Samuel continues to move. Don't know what happened to the invisible guy. Okay, new round. So Joshua, you are first though with your ace.
So we're running across this open, heading to the depression with the machine. And I am trying to scan the area for threats, since I would see Porter down by the machine, I'm guessing.
And you can see just one individual on the other end, which you assume because the flapping white coat is Samuel Reddington on the opposite end of you.
So seeing all that, I'll basically start yakking at Porter. Porter, we about to have company? What's the plan, boss? And I'll start reloading.
Porter's probably not going to answer because at the moment he's probably still lost in his thoughts, lost in the images.
Yeah, so you come out of the hunch and you have a general idea of what you think you should do, but you don't know.
And you're surrounded.
And, well, yes. I kind of shake, Porter shakes himself out and looks up. He's like, oh. Hold on just a second. Just hold on. I gotta do this.
You heard him. Fan out. Give him cover.
And he's going to try and put together those images into a coherent sequence of switches and dials to overload, to reverse, to whatever it's going to do.
All right, so we find ourselves here at a very interesting crossroads. Actually, before we begin with that thing, go ahead and make me a weird science roll.
Ha! So a 1d4 minus 2?
Yes, but because of the fact that you cast Hunch and you have confidence, shaky as it may be, I'm going to go ahead and remove that minus 2. So you just have it straight up as a d4 with your wild die, of course.
All right.
So wish I still had that blue Benny now.
Here's before I cause a rift and make demons pour out or whatever the heck's going to happen. So, Porter fails. I have nothing left to change it.
Well, that doesn't sound good. I have a bad feeling Porter's going to be a changed man after this. We may find out how changed in our next issue, Porter's Sacrifice. The part of Porter Holt is played by Brad Smith. Joshua Young is played by Brent Rich, and your intrepid marshal is played by Chris Hussey. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings, and unique characters, locations, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Thanks also to Fear the Boot. Support their Patreon at patreon.com/feartheboot. Intro music by Half Deaf Clatch. Contact information for the cast as well as music links can be found in the notes on our website, youngandholt.com. If you enjoy these issues, please consider dispensing a lovely 5-star review on wherever you do listen from. Please search for Fear the Boot Actual Play. It's kindly appreciated. If you listen on YouTube, please like and leave a comment. And as always, please tell a friend or 3 about the show. I'm Ernest Wick for the Tombstone Epitaph. And remember, a sacrifice isn't always giving something up. Sometimes it's giving something away.